Good evening. Hi, welcome. My name is Inbaal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I'm here on the Bigfoot Outlaw Network doing a psychic development with Inbaal and Friends program. I'm going to be with you for the next hour or so, so please pop in, say hi, be part of the crew. This channel, Bigfoot Outlaw, is a channel full of esoteric, mystical programming. We've got Bigfoot content, cryptids, we've got psychics, there's numerology here and there, and I'm here with the witchy content for you as well. What we are right now live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Instagram. And when we finish going live, we're going to have our show uploaded on all the good podcasting platforms so you can always catch up with us. If you'd like to catch up with a year's worth of psychic development with Inbaal and Friends, now you can. Yes, this is our 1 year anniversary show. Can you believe it's been a year? It's our 1 year anniversary show, and I'm so excited. For those of you that I personally know, and I can see in the chat right now, I know what a busy year it has been for you and you and you. I'm going to put the messages up in a second. But the topic I wanted to talk about is not about our 1 year anniversary together. I have a whole different topic that has to do with the date. So we're going to get to that in a second. I'll just do a little sip and flash up some messages for everyone who's here. So we started out with a message from Mark, who sent it before we even went to air, saying, "Good evening, Inbal. I hope that you're again busy as ever." I have no idea. Love to one and all. Hello to everyone else. Remember to like and subscribe so that you know when Inbal is on here and you don't miss her. Thank you. Absolutely. Whatever you're watching it on, make sure you like and subscribe. And our kind of home channel is the Bigfoot Outlaw Grizzly YouTube channel. Sorry, am I saying? Yeah, the YouTube channel. But we always go on multiple platforms, so you can grab us everywhere. And Mark is greeting the guests. So I think he clocked somebody logged in as a guest and greeting them. I hope you're looking forward to this and enjoy it. I hope so too. Kay says good day. Oh, with some lovely emojis for everyone. Rob has come in with hellos. And Sabrina says hi, Inbal. Sandy says good evening, Inbal, and to all in chat. Kay says, after writing good day, you they usually say both and didn't listen to intuition. You're all so amazing. Oh, you must listen to your intuition won't let you down. I'm flashing out some more messages. Mark says evening to San. Sorry, I didn't say it last time because I saw you said everyone last time when I was watching back. Yeah, it's true. Mark watches back the show and rates himself out of 10 for how friendly he's been. He's always an 11 to me. Sabrina says, happy anniversary. Thank you so much. You were there right from the beginning. Oh, look who's here. Aisha. I haven't seen her in forever. Saying so good to see you. I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? I feel like I haven't seen you in like months. Must be 5-6 months. Rob says, these are wise words, your intuition might make you physically sick, but definitely won't let you down. I really agree with that. When your intuition makes you physically sick, it's not because it's wrong, it's because it's right and you don't want to hear it. It's when it's right and you don't want to know. I'm certainly very proud of the changes you've made over the last 12 months. Mark says, except you're biased, Inbal. You know what? I do my best not to be biased. I really, really do. But I'm always on your side. Always on your side. Over the past 28 days, 29 days, I've gone live for a few minutes every day, all of July, on my Instagram in order to promote a big reduction that I've got on my big tarot course. So there's just 3 days to go. My big tarot course is on at 40% off. Hi, Isa. Great to see you. So today's topic, so I've had like different topics for different days, and today's topic on my live is exactly what Mark said, I think. Well, kind of. How to find the empathy. And I'm going to discuss how, you might be reading for somebody and their situation sounds so impossible. How did you get yourself in that situation? How did you allow him to treat you like that? How do you allow this person to bring you to a position where you're feeling like that? And I want to discuss where I find the empathy in situations like that and where you can too. So that's going to be after this. That'll be on my Instagram live. Mark says, I know you're on my side, and thanks for that. I can't put more on here, but I appreciate it. There's stuff really sort of starting to come into the fore, like in the newspaper article that I sent you, in all of the advocacy work that you've been doing. Things are bubbling up to the surface. Right. So my topic for today, I don't even know what that tune was. In the Wiccan calendar, in the witchy calendar, we've got the 8 festivals. Now, I think 3/4 of you know where I'm going with this. We've got the 8 festivals. Of course, we have the longest day and the shortest day. They're easy to remember. So that's Midsummer and Yule, right next to Christmas. And then we've got the equinoxes, 21st of March and 21st of September. They're the days of equal light and dark. And in between them, we've got 4 more festivals that are quite similar to Christian festivals that take place at the same time, that are based in the nature year. So on the final day of October, we have, of course, Samhain, Halloween, which is the season of death. On the 1st of February, we've got St. Bridget's Day, or Candlemas, or Inbaal, all the same kind of thing. And this is when you see kind of the first shoots of the very, very beginning of spring, after the winter is finished. And then on the 1st of May, you've got Beltane, which is spring in full bloom. And then on the 1st of August, you have probably the least celebrated one. Aisha gets to the chase. Will you be taking questions this session? Absolutely. I'm going to be doing 1 question per person if you want, but then also on my Instagram live, I'll be doing 1 question in total, so you can jump between both. So the 1st of August is probably the one that gets celebrated the least. I feel like people know about Inbaal because it's the first shoots, it's the first snowdrop, so it's easy to recognize. I feel that people kind of know about Beltane because it's May Day, and people kind of know about Halloween because it's a big deal. And the 1st of August gets kind of forgotten a little bit because it's in the middle of summer. There's plenty getting on with, and a little bit because it's so hard to pronounce. So I know to call it Lunasaw. Lu is the god of many skills. He is a sun god, a light god, Lugh, and it's spelled Lu and then Nasadh, Nasadh. It's kind of Celtic. I've heard it pronounced different ways. I learned that pronunciation from people who have been witches for a long, long, long time. Do you know how to pronounce it, like in Irish?
Lunasa.
Is okay.
And it's spelled pretty much phonetically, Lunsaa.
Wow. Little known fact: my husband, despite being English, studied in school in Ireland for all of the years, so he is very useful for Celtic pronunciations.
Not for anything else.
And for very few other things. So that was guest appearance by Mr. Inbaal. So I know how to pronounce it like this, but I've heard it pronounced different ways. If you are the kind of person who wants to put people down for the way that they pronounce things, I don't think we're going to get on anyway. So if somebody says it as Lunasada, Lunasadi, Lunasa, or Lunasaw, they're all cool. And for those who opt out completely and use the Christian name Lamas, I see you. I feel you. You are my people. Lamas it is. So the celebration of Lunasaw is a celebration of obviously the bright heat, the white heat of summer. But because it is a celebration for Lu, god of many skills, it has to do with the skills that you naturally have, with the skills that you develop, with the skills that you use in your life. And so for tonight's topic, I thought what would be cute is if people wanted to jump in and ask of the tarot, what are my skills? What skills should I be using? What skills am I missing? What skills am I right to put to the fore? So before we start with the topic, I'm going to go for the lovely Aisha, who I missed so much. I know I missed you so much. And do her question. I'm really happy doing general questions as well. I don't want time to run out, and I would like to to have a bit of fun with our topic. But this is a viewer-led show, and if you fancy a general reading, that is cool with me as well. So Aisha says, did the guy Omar Azhar, April 1992, saw my photo which we sent for arranged marriage to his father? Did he show it? As his dad said, he haven't. So my question is, do you see this proposal going ahead from Guy Omar's side? So let's see. So it's kind of a double question. Let's see. First of all, is this proposal going ahead from the Guy Omar's side? The proposal is going ahead. I feel like the delay is because there is too much excitement there. They were so happy with your picture that they were saying to themselves, wait, is the picture is it fixed? Is it doctored? Is it looking a bit too modelly? Is she, is she a show off? So the picture was really good, really worked. Now, did he show the photo to his father, which is kind of a different question, right? He did show the photo to his father, but I think he was trying to keep things traditional, and he didn't want it to look like he's got like a special focus on you. So he showed him a few pictures at the same time, which I would have been annoyed if it was me, because I think, it's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? But for him, he thought that the chances would be better for his dad to get on board if he didn't flaunt it, that he did dad show to his son? Did dad show to his son? Let's see. Dad showed to son. He did, yeah. He did. But again, I'm not sure that he showed it as just a single photo. I think that he was looking at a few at once. And again, I don't think it was as a mark of disrespect towards you. I think it was more to keep things, to keep things traditional, just to do things kind of the old way. So yeah. And like I said, Aisha, you're very welcome to have another question if you jump on my live later. Who have we got here? Rob says, "Oh, I'm going to miss you going live every night. It's become part of my routine. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how tough it is to fit into my day. I'm not going to miss it at all. The only reason I'm still doing it is I am shattered from going live every day. Like you couldn't even imagine. And I did it last year, so I knew how exhausting it was. It's not really sort of switching on the thing and going live, but getting the fabulosity on. Like I don't spend my entire day with fabulosity on my face. I spend my entire day, with jam and most of my hair on my face. So the few times that I'd gone live at, like, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it was really just sort of bracing myself to go to the mirror and get friendly with a lipstick. True. But yeah, I like going live. I enjoy going live. I enjoy doing this. But doing it every day is more than I can comfortably fit into my everyday. Mark sent a message that says Lou and a wink, and it's just so confusing. I don't even know how to relate to that. Kay says, love learning various names as pronounced, as if we can see the connection and importance of it all. It helps. Absolutely. Do you know what really sort of blew my mind? So when I met my husband, he didn't know that a lot of the like Wiccan names and timings and stuff were in, we call it Celtic. In Ireland, they literally call the language Irish. So he didn't know it was in Irish. So most of the things, I was quite proud that I was pronouncing it right. It was, it wasn't really hard. Do you know what? Imbolc is Imbolc. But then we call in Wiccan doctrine, we call the 1st of May Beltane and spell it like, Beltane, Beltane. And it turns out that the correct way to pronounce Beltane is, in fact,
Beltane.
There's so many more vowels there. And the first time he said Beltane to me, it absolutely flattened me. It floored me because I thought I was getting all of them really, really right. You could have given me 100 guesses and I wouldn't have guessed it. The right way to say it is
Beltane. Sorry, that came out a bit Texan.
Roger says, howdy, Inbaal. Mark says, I know my skills. Staying cheeky. I know my skills. I think I need to pass unless you can think of something. I can't. No problem with me. Rob says to Mark, you could ask if there's a new skill you have a potential to develop that you aren't currently aware of. Do you know, though, Rob, what Mark has is a whole raft of skills that I'm not currently aware of. So is it okay if I say it, Mark, that, started sort of writing some poems and I was like, oh, sweet. And I'm reading them and they're like, really, really good, really good. And then Mark was like, okay, I'm going to write some books. And I was like, all right, people say that. And then he sort of sends me a draft and I'm like, it's incredible. Why are you good at this? So Mark's skills are not really a mystery to himself as it happens, but to his little bestie, big shock. Isa says, question for later, and then just an O. I hope the rest of the question will come. Mark says the question there, Rob, is what? Because I think I've done everything nowadays. You've done a lot. Michelle says hello. Rob says, for me, I would like to ask what magical skill or path should I focus on working towards that I would benefit from? Thank you. Thank you. Amazing question. So, anyone joining now, we're looking at skills. We're looking at readings for skills. It could be skills that you might want to develop. It could be skills that you don't know that you want to develop. It could be in any field. Just sort of, follow the leader. So, what magical skill or path for Rob? Right. So, first of all, this is sending you to dig deep, not even magically. First, the first order of the day is digging deep in Rob and coming face to face with all the sludge that's still kind of swimming around in your insides. So unfortunately, and I know this is not what you wanted to hear, unfortunately, we're starting with therapy, my love. We're starting with an introduction to your shadow side, not in a new age way, not in a witchy way, in a clinical setting. Now that you know what's what, and that now that you know why why you're not the same as everybody else, within that context, now start to unpack, because I've got straightforward Wicca for you. It's Wicca. I've got you in big groups, in public groups. I've got you dancing around the Mayport. I've got you celebrating the festivals. Wicca is really, really, really right for you. And within Wicca, you're only going to jump into the shadow sides during, the shadowy part of the year. So I guess between autumn equinox and Imbolc, when Persephone's underground, you will deal with the shadow. That's fine. That's normal. But in order to be able to deal with the shadow only during the shadow part of the year, you've got to exercise the shadow from within you. So once you got this started, once you've got, and I'm sorry to be so blunt, once you've got therapy started, then it's straightforward. And I can see someone, but I don't know if it's someone I know or if he's just like symbolic. It's this kind of pagan, not painted, but it's really kind of no, it's the Glastonbury kind of people, with a lot of joy and face paint, and the men with the big beards, and the kind of people, they know everybody and they have no problem being weird in public. That's where I've got you. I've got you in sort of a colorful floral headdress, kind of out and about, unapologetically witchy persona. And once you're there, it's like you don't really need to to beautify it in any other way. It'll be amazing by itself. So yeah, let me know. Right, so Issa's question. I recently finished Dion Fortune's Mystical Kabbalah. Do you use any Kabbalistic symbolism or techniques in tarot or magic? Amazing, like, well done you for reading all the way through it. Have I got it? Have we already done the thing where I tried to find it behind me and couldn't find it? So it's a complicated question. It's not that it's a complicated question to answer. It's just that it's not the right question. Do you know what I mean? I don't use Kabbalistic symbolism or techniques in tarot or magic. Tarot and magic are Kabbalistic symbolism and techniques. So the whole system of the tarot is placed upon the tree of life. Without the tree of life, there is no tarot. Without the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, there is no tarot. And even though the Kabbalah we're looking at is not the Kabbalah, it's still, of course, connected. And a lot of the foundation of magic, such as the Unfortunes, mystical Kabbalah, a lot of the foundations of modern day Wicca and magic are rooted in Kabbalah. So there's no way you could surgically remove the Kabbalah from it. So don't use any Kabbalistic symbolism in tarot, but it's already, it's already in there. It's already in there, especially that I use the Thoth. So it's got the tree of life, oozing from every hole, right? Tree of life, right? Tree of life. Can you see it? Like the edges. Some of them only have the middle of the tree of life. Love it. And then in magic, I do use stuff that is, I suppose, pseudo Kabbalah. Like I suppose the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram is kind of Kabbalistic, but again, it doesn't really sort of stand on its own as such. So in a way, the Kabbalah is the skeleton, I guess, and the Wicca is like the muscles and the sinews and the skin that keeps it all together. I hope that question helped. But if you want to ask further, I think that kind of conversation helps everybody. So don't hold back. Roger is greeting Michelle. Aisha said, he said he didn't, which I find it weird. I find it weird too. And Aisha says, I almost felt his dad lied. I think he did. I think he was, again, let's say lied might be a bit of a judgmental way to say it, but I think his dad was certainly being, it's a nice word for lying, trying to keep you from having all the information. Kay said, that would make sense as the feeling, empathy, as loved question, as a reminder for many of us. Traditions we are not used to are very normal for others. Thanks to both as a reminder and wish for the best. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? It's really funny because when I sort of step in to correct maybe somebody's pronouncing of Hebrew, because I find Hebrew very easy because obviously, it's my mother tongue. I never feel like, oh, I've got to make fun of this person for not pronouncing it correctly. No, that would be ridiculous. Why would they? Why would they pronounce it correctly? So for me, it's a real joy to be able to share from stuff that is easy for me. For example, to kind of show people how to draw the letters, because they can be complicated if you don't know what direction you're doing in that. So I find it such a joy to share it. And then, if other people can bring in sort of stuff from their culture, I find that really joyful as well. I feel that it really sort of comes to the fore around Christmas time, because different countries and different nationalities have got like slightly different Christmas traditions. And so you hear like how they do it in Norway, and then it's a little bit different to how they do it in Hungary. And, and everybody sort of got their own little, not just traditions, but kind of worldview. And it's really interesting because together it creates the whole tapestry, of us as, as people. Kay says, I'm getting many ads on this side. Do you? I wonder what ads for what? Mark says, you love to spiritually torture yourself. Inbaal, we are not that young anymore, Mrs. Remember the 3 a.m. mornings? Yeah, I remember the 3 a.m. morning. Yeah, I guess I was like 30. Yeah, it was a while back. Greetings. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Aisha said, what is the Instagram ID? My Instagram is Inbaal Psychic. No dots, no lines, no nothing. So if you spell my name, put a psychic on it. Kay says, sounds as many names now. Yeah. Many names, many skills. Mark says, I put Lou as you're explaining the winky faces because I was there as you said it. Yeah. Yeah, please knock yourself, darling. Do you mean to take some cards for you? Let's see what else we've got here. Kay says, most gifts are not obviously unknown, then where to begin? Shall we take some cards for you, Kay, and see what unknown gifts you might want to develop? So this is for Kay, and it says that you struggle in balancing your very patient nature and then your impatience. When you learn something, you want to be able to do it straight away. You want to be like good at it straight away. And that creates like a dissonance between who you are and how you behave. And it says that if you align yourself with a slightly different mindset, slightly different perspective, so that you kind of say to yourself, I enjoy the process. I enjoy the whole learning process. I enjoy the failures. I enjoy getting things wrong. Then the impatience won't chase you quite so much. Do you know what I mean? Sabrina said, I love that idea. Is there any skills I should follow, not aware of? Let's look for some hidden skills for you. Is there any skills that you should follow? No. So it says that the cycle of the year is something that is good for you to follow. And I know that you already like your garden and flowers and so on, but bringing symbols into the house of the yearly cycle. So something like a seasonal flower, or even like a wilted blade of grass, if it's got very hot now. It also says that when you travel, you need to bring in like more car blessings and stuff like that. So bless yourself in your travel. There's no physical skills that you're missing, but there's just sort of magical gaps where you could close the gaps. Car blessing, different seasonal things, and also it says to visualize a happy love relationship. It all starts with visualizing. Even if the idea sounds disgusting a little bit right now, visualize a happy, fulfilling, positive, warm love relationship, so that you start embodying that possibility. I hope that helps. It wasn't exactly an answer to the question, but it was an answer to something. Mark says, "Oh, you're referring to yourself as title for you when I talk to Kaz and others. Make me so happy. I don't even know what one." Rob says, wait until a few years from now and I will send you my Wicca book I'm doing. When I've finished it, during the meantime, get that help and just remember Inbaal and I are here, buddy. Crystal is here. Saying hello, beautiful. Wow, hello, everyone. Rob says, Oh, thank you. It was a lovely reading. I guess the therapy needs to be done, whether I like it or not. Thank you so much. If you like it, you're doing it wrong. As somebody who's had her fair share, it's not supposed to feel nice. It's supposed to be good for you. But yeah, it's got to happen sooner or later. Might as well do it now, before it gets to the point where it has to happen. Isa says nearly finished it. That's still good, still impressive. Those old magic books, I find them kind of hard going. I don't know if it's because it's not my first language or because when I read, I don't retain information very well when I read. So I'll read something and then I'll have to sort of reread the page again and again and again for it to sink in. But yeah, I found the magical books kind of hard going. The Unfortuned, Applied Magic, and Aspects of Occultism. Is that all I've got from The Unfortuned? I feel like I've already tried to find it there. I know I read the Mystical Kabbalah, but maybe I borrowed it. But yeah, even if you're nearly finished, I'm very, very proud of you. Crystal says, thank you for doing these readings. I haven't asked anything in a while, and I thought today would be great. How will the rest of my year go? Thank you so much. It's a great time to ask that. It's a great time because I think there's a lot of figuring things out and soul searching around January. And now we're like 6 months from that. So we're halfway. Let's see how the rest of the year is for Crystal. Very loving. The rest of the year for you is really loving, really warm. There's a lot of positive interactions, even within the family. So some people might be understanding some stuff, but in all of that, it says that the warmth and comfort and stability that you're getting, they're all in place in order to make you more resilient when you're on your own. This is actually the end game. This is the purpose. To be strong and independent is the purpose. Now, obviously, you don't want to be alone. You don't like to be alone. Why would you want to be alone? But this strength and independence just mean that you'll find it easy to support others and not really need much yourself. Whereas, for the whole of your life, you found it necessary to support others and not really request anything yourself. This will be you at a point where you find it easy, where you find it pleasurable, where you find it fulfilling to use your independence to support others. So it's actually the second half of the year is actually sweet, comforting. It centers around you. It's really very positive. Isa says, I feel like everything is Kabbalah. Yes. Yeah, no, everything is Kabbalah, and everything is also connected. So in a way, I feel like I really oversimplify Western magic and Western mysticism in saying that everything is Kabbalah, because what I really mean is that everything is connected. That, for example, the color red means a certain thing in Western magic, but it means exactly the same thing in Eastern magic. Multiple Eastern magics, because obviously, Chinese is very, very different to Indian, is very, very different to Persian, and so on. So all the different ancient worlds have a lot in common with each other because magic is universal. So, so if it wasn't Kabbalah, it would have been something else. But in Western magic, we certainly have Kabbalah running all through it. And I think, obviously 777 is such a seminal work, even more hard going than anything The Unfortunate put together. And 777 has, well, 777 and other Kabbalistic writings. But yeah, it's got Kabbalistic stuff all in and out. And there's so much that is, there's so much that is not even sort of explored. The different names of the angels and stuff like that, those are things that are mysticism. They're created with perhaps the symbols of the Bible and the language of the Bible, but they are esoteric. And even though obviously there's a lot of magic in the Bible itself, the Kabbalah is sort of built upon it. So the Sefer Yetzirah, there's, yeah, it's inside all of it. You couldn't remove it. If you tried to remove Kabbalah from current and even like, slightly older Western magic, ritual magic, tarot, Wicca, Druidry, even, if you try to remove Kabbalah from it, it's not that you'll have fragments left. You'd have practically nothing left. You'd have, just skin without any of the organs in it. Kim says, hi everyone. Hi, princess. Mark says, my duvet and pillowcases are the tree of life. Oh, it's nice. I will take a pic so you can see later. They look lovely. Forgot to tell you. I feel attached to it. What an amazing way to self-bless. Kay said, yeah, feeling if the emotions of the picture and its reasons would seem odd or different, whereas it makes sense minus being odd or rude. Yeah, absolutely. Connect with the pictures. Magic is magic. It's independent. Connect with the pictures. Connect with a, with the vibe of it. Bigfoot Outlaw, Grizz himself says hello all. Let me see if he's still there. Are you still there, Grizz? Because did you realize that this has been 1 year now on the air? And you're the person that made it all happen. Lorna says, yoo-hoo, everyone, yoo-hoo to you. And Lorna is greeting each person independently, which is not only sweet, but also really lovely for our engagement as a program. Thank you, Lorna. That is an act of kindness. And Grizz is replying to the greeting and saying, I'll take some cards. Let's have a little look. So, Grizz, as we are entering the season of Lunarsal, which is the witchy festival of skills, named for Lu, the sun god, god of many skills, we are looking at any skills that anybody could develop to basically sort of help them move forward. And it says that your mediumship skills are fantastic, very strong, but there's a lot more coming. This means to me that that if you do get to sleep, you could get a whole bunch of visitations. And so if you don't want to get a lot of visitations in your sleep, if you want to sort of keep the mediumistic moments tight and, limited for when, so that you can get a proper good night's sleep, then put some essential oil, something that sort of keeps you protected. I want to say something like frankincense. If anybody else got good ideas. So this shows that your mediumistic skill is just about to kick into a level that you didn't ask for and wasn't expecting. It also shows your skills in acceptance, in seeing people exactly as they are and having all the compassion for them. So there's a lot of growth on the emotional level, and it's showing some family connections. So I don't know if you've got somebody graduating and coming to spend time with you. There's somebody in the family who is going through their ages and stages, and you're able to get closer. There's a lot of sweetness for you. I know that you sometimes feel exhausted and like you're doing a little bit too much, but time waits for no one. And the changes that are coming up for you are your evolution. And and they're happening whether you're ready or not, so you might as well get ready. Thank you, Chris. You're the best. Kim is greeting. Kay says, "Oh, arrangement of marriages. It's all for who still does respect, yet we're not the norm. Empathy can be mixed as readings into the feels and needs correction or reminder at times." It's really true. There's kind of a perception as if arranged marriages and love marriages are two things that are on completely like opposite ends of the scale, but it's actually a whole rainbow where some love marriages are in fact marriages of convenience, where somebody would marry someone just because she's very beautiful, or somebody would marry someone just because he's very wealthy. Is this a love marriage or is this an arranged marriage? And on the other side of the scale, you'll have arranged marriages that are put together by a very skilled matchmaker who looks at your values and your compatibility and your background and your education and can skillfully predict whether you would be a good match or not. So is this an arranged marriage or is this a love marriage for love that is predicted? Different things are the norm in different cultures. And I think it's really interesting how some people would feel very out of place in their own culture, and that could be via like past life memories, and it's a really interesting conversation. It's really interesting. Thank you for raising it, Kay. And Kay said, "I so appreciate it. Thank you so much." Yes, all balance. Let's take a couple more cards for you. Let's see. Wow. So it says that there is a view to changing your career, and there's kind of a dissonance between what you want to do and what you think you're skilled at. So you'll have to choose whether you're going for the career that brings in the most money or whether you're going for the career that brings in like the most personal satisfaction, because that is interesting. Mark says it was about the books. It was supposed to be Knock Yourself Out, Miss the Out, Long Day with Kaz. Oh, hi guys. Kay says, touch a book and it's read. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. If I could just touch a book and all the information would be in my brain, that would be amazing. Kim says, it takes me weeks to read a single book, even if it's like an easy book, it takes weeks. And I love books and I love reading, but it's just not a natural skill for me, not a natural fit with how I work. Kim says, any skills I should follow? Let's have a look, princess. The cards are bringing up big major arcana for you. Right. So an important skill that I wish you were able to develop is leaving the past in the past. I know it doesn't sound like a very crucial skill, but your life would move forward at breakneck speed and get you to fulfilling your wishes and fulfilling your desires if you're able to leave the past in the past. If there's things in the past that you're still sad about, that you're still annoyed about, they are holding you back. Leaving the past in the past is the skill that you want to develop to allow you to travel more, move on with things, see your wishes and hopes coming true. So let me know. Rob very cutely says, Mark, I want to see the bedding too, please. And you're asking him like this in public. Very cute. Kay says, yes, thanks. It's been a practice of mine. Hey, Grizz. Kay, welcoming. Mark says, Rob, I'll send you the pic as well, buddy. I don't mind. Grizz is greeting living purpose, saying hi, Inbal. Lorna is welcoming everyone. You know, we've only got a few minutes left, so I'll make sure I go through all the messages. Sabrina says, I laughed at the last part. Good. It's designed for you to laugh at all the parts. Grizz is sending a cup. Love it. Winner. Crystal says, you know, that is so perfect for me. Thank you. No, it's so perfect for me. It's what I've been working towards. So you'll be working towards it successfully. Sabrina says, thank you. I'll start travel blessing myself again. I used to charge the reef hanging on my front door when the seasons changed. I stopped last year. I'll start it up again. Yeah, amazing. So that kind of stuff. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mark says, love the earrings. Don't recall them before. Have forgotten. They're really nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was going through a bit of a long earring stage. Isa says 777 has some Arabic in it. Yes, it has. Do you know what? It actually surprised me when I first picked it up because I can read Arabic, but I don't know what I'm reading. Like I know the alphabet, but I obviously don't know all the words. But I was surprised to see Arabic in it, Coptic, right? And I thought, wow, Crowley knew a lot of stuff. And obviously, Crowley's background was very, very, very religious. So he would have been brought up in the environment where they'd have read like only the Bible, presumably New Testament in Greek, presumably, you know, they will have known some Hebrew, but yeah, there is but I was surprised to see the Arabic there because I didn't know where he would have intersected Middle Eastern magic and the Kabbalah and, you know, the Coptic and everything. I think it's fascinating. Al-Rakib, beholder of hearts. Al-Wast. Oh, vast. Al-Majid, exalted. I will say that when you go through like Kabbalah Hebrew, like, you know, Western Kabbalah Hebrew, and the meanings, they don't always match like really, really well. You can see people made a big effort, but it's not always like really 100%. So I wouldn't really sort of use 777 if I was wanting to learn Hebrew. So I'm not going to sort of use 777 if I'm wanting to improve my Arabic either. Where I live, says Mark, is number 7, a single 7, but in Chinese that's believed to be a lucky number. Yeah, well, 7 is a very lucky number. It's the 7 days of the week, obviously. Bigfoot says yes, 100%. And congratulations, Inbal. You can't congratulate me for something that you gave me. You handed me it. Thank you so much. Lorna says 1 year. I feel like I've known you for years. I can't believe it's been a year. Like, I can't believe it's been a year because it's so long, and I can't believe it's been a year because it's so short. Bigfoot says, wow, so true. I'm going to start winding down, guys, because if we keep chatting, we will never, ever, ever finish. I suppose you can look at what may happen. I mean, it covers a lot. Yeah, let's do. So Mark's reading is the final one, and then we are going to finish. So for the rest of the year, it's showing some legal papers that are going in your favor. So there are some contracts, some agreements, There is a bit of a move. It's not a big move, so I don't know what that means. Maybe could it be just like a different location within the same address or something like that? And it shows all 8 books written. Are they? I don't know how you're going to manage to do it, but the entire series is written before the 1st of Jan. I can't wait to see it on shelves. Grizz says, absolutely, yes, amazing. So, guys and gals, thank you for spending this anniversary show with me. Hopefully many more anniversaries. I'm going to see you next week again, and then one more week, and then I'm going to be away on a short holiday. So I appreciate you. I appreciate spending this time with you. And have a lovely evening. Night, night.